Good morning. So, what you doing today, Gummy? I got to switch this out. I hope you're going to be busy today. We are 67 degrees. I think that's pretty good. Got to turn that down so I don't have double. Okay. I was just getting my coffee. Have you started? Hey, Tony, how are you? Kettle Kitchen. Yes. I was just saying it's 67 degrees here today. It is so nice. And I'm all scared that it's gonna turn off cold again. Although it's gonna rain tomorrow for like 4 days. So you can't get away from that. How is the weather up in the Northeast? 48 in California, really? Let's say, oh, wait a minute, you're 3 hours behind. So that I guess that kind of makes sense. It's still early. 27 for you? Oh, you're in the Northwest. Why did I say Northeast? That's way up my direction. Yes. You wouldn't believe it. I lived in Portland for a couple of years. I know where it's at. Gummy says chilly, 62 degrees you're going to be today. Hey, old man King, how are you doing, Peter? 62. Supposed to be a high of 39. Tony. Whoa. Okay, we're still at see, I'm in short sleeves. I had to go back to short sleeves. Um, we were I don't know, 35 at night. So, I mean, we're really nice, but it's the rain that's getting me. It's like we got to dry out. It's pretty bad when you go and you walk across the pasture and you go up to your ankles in mud. So yeah, it's a little tough that way. So yeah, um, but oh, you can't wait for short sleeves, Tony? Yeah, um, I'll say that until about July and August, which is our hottest months when it gets over 100 degrees, and then I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for fall then. Peter is not at 39 and sunny in New York. Supposed to start raining tonight and rain all day tomorrow. Yeah, we ours starts tomorrow morning and we go for 4 days. Um, you said short sleeve, not shirtless. Oh no, shirtless is those people in Florida. When we first moved here from we had been living in Arkansas, and the first moved here, and it was like in August when we came. Well, November, when we had Thanksgiving, we didn't have any family here, and so we went over to the beach in Savannah, and it was 80 degrees. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so nice. And but in the middle of winter, now Kathy from Living Miracle Homestead, she's this way. She will wear shorts and flip-flops in winter. It's like, oh my gosh. And sometimes you'll see people with hoodies on, but yet they have shorts and flip-flops. So uh, I mean, who knows? It's like those people that are used to the cold weather, and if it's a little chilly, they want their arms covered, but they don't want shoes on. So yeah, shorts and flip-flops at Thanksgiving. So that was quite of a shock for us because um where we lived in Arkansas, it was, we had pretty cold winters at times. So yeah, but I love the Northwest. I absolutely loved it. I lived in Portland and Beaverton and had friends in Forest Grove. That's, going over towards the coast. And I still have friends up there in Vancouver. So I still know a few people up there. Some that I have not had any contact with years and some that have gone on. But let's see, 75, slight breeze, and somewhere to be sun covered. You're happy there? Yeah, yeah, definitely. But now I don't do sun well, even though I like it around 70. That's my good temp is in the mid 70s. That's where I'm comfortable. Um, but I burn. So I don't really do the sun, when the kids all go to the beach. I don't particularly care to go to the beach. I took my kids, but I was always under the umbrella. But I burn so bad. I just I can't handle it. Uh, yeah, Kettle Kitchen. Yeah, Donna, that is Tony. He's the one I was telling you about that does a lot of the collaborations, the cooking collaborations. So Gummy hasn't done any of those cooking collaborations yet. And for those who don't know, Gummy is my sister Donna, which is in California. So hey, Heather's chubby hubby, good to see you. Yes, I have been well this week. I only had to chase the cows once. But we did have some baby lambs. Now, if y'all haven't seen my little video on the baby lambs, I put a short up yesterday and they are just so cute. They're different than baby goats. For those who've been around baby goats, they are so different. And when they're born, their body fiber is very stiff and almost wiry, but around their little faces, these are baby doll sheep, around their little faces is really soft and fluffy fiber. And they have long little tails. I would have not thought that these sheep had long tails. And I don't dock them, but they are so sweet. But on their last on the bottom of their legs to their hoof, it's very wiry hair. So I mean it's really different, but they have the cutest little faces. So I'm letting mama nurse them, so we're not putting them on a bottle, but we will adopt them out after they're weaned, usually around 3 months. Um, we'll adopt them out because they're both little rams, but they're black and they're sweet, really sweet. Let's see. Anyone else did I miss? Duncan, hey, Brenda, how are you doing? Good to see you. Um, yes, I'm waiting next week. I'm going to have a short little visit with Kathy from Living Miracle Homestead. She's coming up this way. So she said she would stop in and say hello. She usually does when she's in the area. And so we try to get together for a few minutes anyway, because she comes up here to see her longtime friends. And I just happened, to get introduced to her a couple of years ago by them. Um, so yeah, and she's the one who goaded me into getting my channel. And so yeah, I learned a lot from her. But I think I think I'm gonna try to get my computer a little closer. I can't reach it. Um Goaded, yeah. You know what that word means, goaded? Hey, Carlene Vassar, how are you? Oh, you're in Florida too. That's right. How's the weather down there today? Probably real close to us. No pun intended. Yeah. Uh, yeah. I tend to say some of these. I don't know. They're just old sayings that I grew up with, and I mean, some of them you don't really know what they mean until you become adults, and you're thinking, What did those mean? So, yeah. Oh, yes, anyone, please, if you are welcome, any of my mods to please drop links, and we can make new friends. Yes, bless your pea-picking heart. Yeah. I told somebody the other day, and I actually have started writing down some of these that I think of that my mother used to say. I don't remember my dad. I was 8 years old when he passed, so I don't remember him ever saying these kind of words. But my mother and my grandmother were very good about these little these little sayings that, I don't know. And I thought, "Well, I'm gonna write those down, because I forget some of them, and they're really kind of comical. Some of them are just like the bar ditch, you know, for those who didn't grow up in the country may not know what a bar ditch is. But and I really don't know where the name came from, only that it's a ditch that looks like it has bars on the side, I guess. I don't know. My grandma used to always say, "I've got a bone to pick with you." Yes, yes. That's a good way of getting your hat handed to you. That's another one. Yeah. And I think the sayings are regional too. Some are very common, but some are only regional to the area they're in. And I think it's really kind of unique, some of the different sayings that us in the South have are quite different than those in the Northwest or the Northeast, are, even more Southern than we are. Yeah, that's right. I was say Carlene says it's 76 and sunny here today. Just finished power washing. Your Lanny? What's a Lanny? I don't know what that is. See? um, let's see. Anybody else got any neat sayings they want to share? While we're sharing stuff, I don't mind. There's no cooking today. I'm gathering up my ingredients for chili next week, y'all. My chili recipe will drop on the Chili Smackdown 23. I was lucky enough to get invited to do that this year, so I'm excited about that. Although I'm not the gourmet chef that Tony is, and I have a shout out for Tony that I have already filmed, but I didn't want to release it too. I had so many, I didn't want to release them all in one day. So Lanny screened in black porch. Oh, oh, is that like the Hawaiian term? Uh, I know when we visited Hawaii, they lanau. I thought they said lanau, but it's a lanny. Am I saying it correctly, or is that the Southern way I'm saying it? Yes. Tony says hashtag Chili Smackdown 2023. Oh, hey, Tony, I cannot wait to try that. The seasoning, I think my favorite one, I got four. I think my favorite one is going to be that Hawaiian one. I really want to try some wings with that Hawaiian one. Hey, Elise, how are you doing? Lanai. Okay, okay, that's how you say it. Yes, because when we were in Hawaii and my sister-in-law said the word, and I thought, I don't even know what that is. Long eye, yes. Okay. Well, us in the South, sometimes we say words that are, you know, I don't know. I think we just make it up. Elise is my friend who lives very close to me, and she has many of my chickens and ducks. I met her a couple of years ago. Gummy says, our mom always said, I'm just gonna set a spell. Yes, instead of sit a spell. She always said she was gonna set a spell like she was a chicken and gonna set on some eggs. But that was the way, and she always said wash rag too, so and range. She's gonna range and wash, she's gonna wash the clothes. So it was always had an R in it. So yes. Um Elise says, I'm doing okay. I'm trying to figure out what to give my chickens. I found a farmer on YouTube. He makes his own chicken feed screens. Yes, and there also is a channel. I started watching her several years ago, and it's Becky's Homestead. She makes the chicken mix that I've been making her chicken mix, and it's very good, and she raises very happy chickens. Um, but she's a fairly big channel now. Hey, Stephen, how are you? Boots and Bounty. I'm glad you're listening while you're working. I've been so behind in watching all my videos because I've had babies, and it seems like the cows have just been really wrestling. Yeah, my grandma used to say wrestle. Yes. Yeah, so I've been wrangling wrangling the cows because they keep jumping out of my fences. And so yeah, um and Stephen has a new homestead at Mr. Boots and Bounty. They are getting their new place together. They just got some chickens. I know they're going to miss those chickens, so they had to go back and get them, right? Even if you had to rescue them, because eggs are such a premium these days. And this year, I'm telling everybody who's asking for layers, I'm selling the chicks. You can raise them to layers because by the time I feed them, I can't afford to sell the layers. Um, so yes. um, yes, everybody just get to know everybody. You follow her, Miss Becky? Yes, Elise, Becky's Homestead. She is really, I mean, she's so knowledgeable and such an easy person to listen to in her videos. Life with Chuck and Belinda. Belinda and Chuck, good morning. How are you? Heather's chubby hubby says, I am the hubby of Heather. That's right. I've seen someone one day called him HCH, maybe because they didn't want to call him Heather. But now, Heather's chubby hubby, he really likes rocks. And he has, I mean, he's got quite a little operation with gyms and stuff there. I've my middle son is like that. He's the only child I have that was, and I used to tease him because he's very happy about having a box of rocks for his birthday. Hey, our new land. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Um, yeah, so we went to Arkansas to the diamond mine, and we literally gathered up a box of gemstones and crystals because he he teaches science, middle school science, and he wanted something to give each one of his children in his classroom. This was, I guess it might have been a Christmas gift. I'm not sure now. So we went up to Arkansas and we were visiting his mama lived there in Hot Springs at the time. Um, and so we literally brought him back a box of rocks, and it happened to be around his birthday in August. And we said, this is your box of rocks. And then we brought a second box of just crystals for his classroom. So we donated those to his classroom, and he actually has one of his degrees is science, and one of his degrees is geology. So he absolutely loves rocks. Lisa's, how are your baby sheep doing? Oh, they're doing really good. I go out there and pick them up every day, even though they're nursing mama. I want to make sure that I keep them really tame, so they're doing very well. Um, we this is her first twins. She had a single last year, but she had the baby. She was young, and she had him in what was a it was a he it was a she. during really cold night, and we didn't know about him until in the morning, and we weren't able to intervene there, so we lost that one. But this one, they're very healthy. Um, they're comical, really comical. I have them over in the section where the puppies are at, and the puppies like them. They go up and right in the beginning, it's funny about a mama you if you get near her and she doesn't want you near her babies, she will not butt you like a goat will. She stomps her foot. And it is so comical. I haven't been able to catch it on film yet, but the puppies that run up to the babies and they want to play with them, and she will stomp her foot. And it's like, and she only does one foot and she stomps it like she really means it. And even the dog backs up. So they know they know exactly what that little mama is telling them. But they've been in there 2 or 3 days now, and I haven't seen her stomp her foot now, and she actually lets the puppies get near the babies. So they're doing very well. Very good. Let's see, who did I miss? Somebody come in that I missed. Um, I think I missed somebody. Who is Devin or Devon? Am I saying it correctly? Um, let's see. Where did I lost my spot. Dev in. Okay, our new land. Okay. Dev in. I know you gotta spell these things out for me, y'all. Sounds like Kevin, right? Devin, Kevin. Gotcha. I had some I had I had a really hard day yesterday. My little goat Camilla, she's been pregnant a while, and she just kept getting larger and larger, but she wasn't getting any of the signs like milk bag or anything. Well, I found her uh towards the evening, and she was laying beside a tree and she was breathing kind of heavy, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's in labor, because she would lay on her side, and I mean, honestly, she's huge and she's breathing really hard, and I thought, well, I need to move her near the house, because if she looked like she's carrying quads, she's so huge. And then when I got her over there, I realized that she has what they call frothy bloat, and she's frothing at the mouth. A lot of times when you see that, um, it's it's most likely too late to help them. But she was really labored in her breathing. We did get some medicine down her, and she was eating the baking soda, and she's doing really good. And I went back to check on her a couple of hours, and I had lost her, and the babies too. I mean, it was that, and the really kind of it was unique but sad. Dakota, the one with the puppies, she is laying right beside her. And when I walked in there, I don't know if she knew who I was in the beginning, but she growled. So she was guarding her, even though she had passed. She's laying there, and this is a livestock guard dog. So she was doing her job. I know it was Camilla was one of our rescues that someone just called me and said there's a couple of goats in the woods, and we went out there, and the lady, she said, oh well, they'll come up in the afternoons, and I got a place for them to sleep, but they just wander around in the woods. So I got them several years ago, and she's had several sets of triplets and quads, and she was really one of my older goats. But you know it's sad. I mean, things like this happen on farms, but it's hard when you're helpless. because when you realize this frothy bloat is just very painful for them, but because she was frothing at the mouth, it means that it was in her lungs already. And but she got up and she walked and she was doing really well, and we were trying to burp her, um, because if you give her vegetable oil, um, you can give it to her and it'll cause her to burp on both ends, and that releases that gas that's built up in her. And unfortunately, even though she was eating the baking soda, because they only eat baking soda when they know they need it. So she was eating it and she was drinking water, but it was in her lungs. And unfortunately, but Dakota she was guarding her. She took care of her until we could come take care of her. But she wouldn't she wouldn't let I mean, even the puppies, she wouldn't let the puppies near her, and she wouldn't let the mama sheep near her either. So, yeah, it's a it's a tough thing. It's always tough to lose one of the babies, but anybody who's been to my farm knows that all of the nannies, I only have two that are not attached to me yet, and those are the two that a few months ago that broke down my gate and came in our pasture, and they haven't left, and they were just wandering goats also. But those are the only two that won't really come up to me yet. They're getting better. They'll walk past me now instead of staying 50 feet away from me, and they'll come up when I'm feeding them. But they're definitely, and I think they're kinder goats. They're not the Nigerians or the Mytonic like I have. But I made a home for them, and the owner finally came to see if I had seen his goats, and I told him what happened. He said, "Well, if you don't mind, you can have them. At least they're not in the road and about to get hit." And they were basically eating leaves and stuff out of the woods. I hear the baby lambs crying. Um, let's see. Yes, it is sad, Carlene. It's the hardest part of farm life is to not to be able to save your pet. And like I said, many times when you see one that's ill, there's no signs until it's too late. So yeah, it is hard. It's definitely hard. And I haven't told the youngest grandchildren because, they wear their hearts on their sleeve and it's very tough for them. Oh, thank you, Elise. I do the best I can with what knowledge that I've learned since I've been on the farm 7 years. So yeah, I do a lot of my own vet work, but I have a vet really close. But this wouldn't have made any difference. It wouldn't have made any difference. Oh, I'm so glad you came in, Carlene. I'm here every Wednesday. I try to be here at least from from noon till whenever we get done talking. Sometimes I'm a little long-winded, but yeah. Um, Gummy says, "Oh, I knew you were busy and we didn't have to chat and didn't know." No, I know you were busy yesterday, so we didn't get a chance to. Usually at the end of the day, we kind of go through things that we've been doing. Um, yeah, it reminds us, you know, you just have to take care of what you can. I'm so glad you came in, Steve, Mr. Boots and Bounty. I hope you have a good day, rest of the week. And I've already saved some of your videos to watch later, so I will catch up. I will. So I've only had to fix the fence once for the cows this week. But if it just stopped raining, we could get them loaded. The ones that are going to the sale barn, we just can't get them loaded because it's so wet. By the time I get them loaded in the stock trailer, we'll be bogged down, and I uh, won't be able to get out of there. Let's see. And sometimes you have to end early and chase cows. Yes, yeah, that's only happened that one time, and I probably wouldn't have bothered so much, but they were in my daughter's yard. She has a brand new car, and we had already seen them try to attack the lawnmower. She has one of those zero turn lawnmowers. We had already seen them doing all kinds of stuff with their heads with that. So I did not want to, and one of them was looking like he was going to go up on her wraparound porch. So we definitely didn't want that either. Hey, 12 Stones. Good to see you, Byron. Chasing cows should be an Olympic sport. Oh my gosh. I am so worn out. Listen, y'all, I'm I'm over 65. It's like I'm a little bit too old to be chasing some of these cows. Although my neighbors that are cattlemen, and I go to the Cattlemen's Association every month when they have dinners and meetings, and most of those cattlemen, y'all, they are older folks. You rarely see one that are under 40. And there are some, but most of these cattle people, they're over 50 years old and they've been doing it all their lives. But whoo, it's hard work. It is hard. Um, yes, it's going to rain tomorrow and Friday and maybe Saturday at least for us. But yeah, so and honestly, well, I did think yesterday I was down at my son's house and I just peeked out his back door for some strange reason. Um, and I saw cattle almost like maybe a couple of 100 yards from him in the neighbor's yard. And I thought, oh my gosh, my cows are down in, we call it the big pond down. It's like they own 15 acres. This all used to be one ranch, farm, and it was split. So they got 15 acres and I got six. And I see cows down there, and I thought, "Oh my gosh." So I call my husband and I tell him we need to get another bale of hay because I ran out of hay. Only I gave him the last bale I had. Hey, Papa's Kitchen, nice to see you. Um, so yes, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to chase the cows on Tuesday instead of Wednesday this week. And I mean, they've busted up my fence, and honestly, I can't replace the wire. I mean, the roll of fencing is, and we put goat fencing up because we were housing goats at the time. So all of ours is goat fencing, not cattle fencing. And oh my gosh, I think it was $150 a roll when we bought it a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. And it's probably 350 now a roll. So there's no buying a new roll of fence. So I've got to find another way to repair the fence and put up some electric. But and of course the cows are going to the sale barn. I can't do this anymore, and I'm trying to redo my house, but it's eating me alive with the fencing. So yeah, your priorities have to change. So I go to town, I get my husband's truck. Well, we get down there and he's already got the bale of hay because he knew when I said the cows were out again that I needed hay. And I mean, they're eating a roll. There's only 5 cows out there and a calf. They're eating one of these big rolls every week because, the grass is, even though it's raining, it's not growing yet, not like it should or would. So I go around there and I thinking, well, what part of the fence down there have they tore up? This is stuff, you know. Hey, Annabelle's Farm Adventures. Nice to see you. Glad you made it today. So I look over to see where they busted the fence, and dang it, if my cows aren't in the pasture, the cows that are back near my son's are my neighbor's cows. But that means that they've come over to visit my cows, which means that they're going to be jumping the fence and saying hello. So I still had to get the hay because I needed to get them back up near the farm instead of down by the woods. So hopefully, so now they're busy. But uh, the neighbor had told my husband last week, he said, have you seen a couple of my cows? He said, I was loading them up to go to the sale barn and two of them got loose and they're in the woods somewhere. Well, they showed back up, but they showed back up at our place. So I didn't have to wrangle cows yesterday. Thank goodness. Because honestly, it's a pain. And I don't trust them because we have a little Holstein bull. He's about 2 now, and I don't know. He's got a little spit and vinegar, and he tried to gore my husband twice last weekend. And he's like, "Okay, they're going to the sale barn. New address. I'm done with this." Uh, Annabelle says, "Not sure how long I can stay. We're babysitting my niece and she's a handful." Oh yeah, you can't take your eyes off of the babies when you're sitting, because they're smart and they're sneaky. Gummy says, when our 2 younger brothers were small, they would go out in the pasture and the bulls and cows would chase them. When Jerry went to high school, he was in track and ran so fast, and he still holds the record. Oh, that's because he was running from the cows. He so he was that good that he just started running track. Jerry is our baby brother. So yeah, we got 2 baby brothers. So yeah, um, yeah, they would chase them. Oh yeah, we had barbed wire fences. That's right. So when the cows would chase us, I don't know why cows want to chase people. Why is that? Now we did bottle feed this baby, so I guess I know why that is. But yeah, why did they want to chase you? They wouldn't even let my husband in his truck. He was running around and around the truck trying to get back in so he could get the truck out of the pasture. I mean, he had just dropped the big roll for them, and instead they wanted to chase him like they were not even, happy. But I don't know what I'll talk about if I get rid of my cows, y'all. I have to come up with something else. Well, I still have goats. I still have my sheep, a couple alpacas, but they're not like the goats and the sheep. And the puppies now, the puppies will I think they're going to the vet tomorrow. All 7 of them. We're going to get those all ready because they'll be ready to go to their forever homes after Valentine's Day. So we have 5 that are leaving, and we're going to miss them, the little stinkers, because they are quite hilarious. Quite. Let's see. Who did I miss? Elise says, "What can I put on the ground to keep it from being muddy?" We put straw, Elise. Um, the straw does kind of absorb some of the wetness, and so yeah, we put straw. We put hay inside the pens, but we put straw. Hey, prepped for Eternity Homestead, how are you doing? um so the straw, I mean, we had to put it everywhere, except I didn't put it in where the cows were at because they'll just beat it down anyway. But I put it in all the pens where the puppies were at and where the goats were at, um, trying to help absorb some of that rain because we have had an enormous amount of rain in the last couple of months. And it just seems like we never really dry out. Um, and some of the areas towards South Carolina are getting more than we are. So yeah, prepped for Eternity Homestead. Can you share your first name if you would like to? Um, Sometimes it's nice if you tell us where you're at, about what region. You don't have to give exact. What's your weather like? Lisa's, "My backyard's getting muddy when it rains." Oh yeah, mine is muddy now. It's go out there in my boots and it actually goes up to my ankles. It's that deep. MB Heritage Farms. Hey guys, how are you doing? Um, we are we are so muddy here that I can't even walk in the pasture. And yeah, if a lot of you know, Crocs are really great, but they're not good in the winter. Um, but sometimes it's just what's sitting by the door, and my husband is forever putting those things on and going out and feeding the animals first thing in the morning, and he'll come back and he's got these nasty wet socks, and it's like, throw them away. Just they're not even worth washing. Of course, who gets to wash them if they are? Papa's Kitchen said we had several inches of rain overnight and today. Oh yeah. Remind us where you're at, Papa. Um, Donnie, you live in Alabama, really? Well, we don't live too far from Alabama. Um, we are more on the central eastern side. As a matter of fact, 30 minutes from South Carolina. Um, and oh, Arlington, Texas. Okay, Papa's from Arlington, Texas. See, I got family everywhere. I got family all over Texas. Um, but um, so we're about 4.5, 5 hours from Birmingham. So we're not too bad. Do y'all know how many YouTubers actually live in the South? There's a lot. There's a lot in Georgia and South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida. I mean, Mississippi, Alabama. I mean, I can't believe there's that many, and a lot of them are um, homesteaders, gardeners, um, even from the arts and crafts. When I get on my arts and crafts channel, Adventures in Michigan with Lisa. Hey, nice to see you. So yeah, we got you're just starting to dry out in North Carolina. Oh my gosh. And we got 4 days coming up. And we didn't get in that last freeze when it dropped down into Texas. We didn't get that part like we did the first one. Um, so we just got all of the water pipes. We've been doing a lot. The Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. Hey, so we just got all of the piping because all of our chicken pens, we have 9 separate pens, and all of them had the PVC piping. And oh my gosh, you can believe how many we had to replace and to reroute. And so, I mean, because we normally don't have 11 degrees. Ours is the lowest gets 17, 18, so we really don't have it that cold normally. Some of the folks in North Carolina do get that cold, but not me. Um, let's see. Yes, Elise lives in that it says Martinez, y'all. For anybody who is does not live in the area, we pronounce it Martinez. And I don't know why when we moved here, uh the first time I said Martinez, they're like, that's not how you say it. So it's Martinez. We're Martinez, Georgia. Um, so yeah. Susan, have you been? Y'all have all been so busy. Winter, you think winter would be slower, but we've had so much bad weather that it just seems like it's doubled up on all of our chores outside. Um, and of course, we're trying to remodel. I got to get that done so that I can get my kitchen back. And we haven't even gotten halfway yet because I mean, as it rains, all of our saws and everything are out on the carport area, and you can't cut things when it's pouring and wind blowing, and so you can't work the saws. So yeah, it's been definitely a hardship trying to get that done, but I guess it'll get done. We'll get our kitchen back. It's not like I cook a lot, like some of y'all cook a lot. Um, but I've got animals and stuff out. I got a lot of outdoor stuff, and I haven't even started my garden stuff. I got to go up there and clean it up. And now the bees are doing good. I checked on my bees. They got plenty. They're loaded with honey. I'm gonna have to put a new super on top just to give them extra room because it's still a little bit too cool to go in there too deep. I don't want to disturb them too much. Um, oh, you're welcome. Um, Very busy, yes. And I mean, there's still listen, if any of you, and I know about the chili smackdown cook off, not cook off, but any of you have any cooking or collaborations going, please mention them. Because I know there's more out there than I have mentioned. I just have not been able to do too many of them. Now I am going to do the chili one next week because it's an easy chili. Um, and I really like, doing them. 44 and sunny in northern Michigan. Oh my goodness. But at least the sun does warm you up a little bit, doesn't it? Where do you where do you all get your feed for y'all's chickens and ducks? Oh yeah, Elise is asking. Um, Elise got chickens and ducks from me before, and she's got quite a little menagerie of chicken ducks. Hey, Little Ridge Farm, how are you? So she has been looking for a new chicken or duck feed, and I did tell her about the one that I get from Becky's Homestead. It just seems like now in the first, it is quite an investment because you have to get a bag of the black oil sunflower seeds, and I put kitty kibble in mine also. The chickens love that, and it's got a lot of protein in it. And so I get the tiniest kibble that I can put in there, and I get oats, some kind of grain, and plus the all stock pellets and cracked corn. So I mean, at first you got a lot of little bags, but once you get it all mixed up, it lasts for a long time, a lot longer. And I don't think it takes as much um, because they don't always eat the sunflower seeds right away. But then if they sprout, then they're going to eat the sprouts, So if they miss one, they'll sprout out. So that's what I've been doing for duck feed and chicken feed. Now I know many people who just turn their chickens loose in the daytime and let them free range and never give them any supplements. Well, I guess when we were kids, I don't remember anything other than corn. It's cracked corn. That's all I remember my mother ever throwing out for the chickens is cracked corn. And that was probably only when she had them. Okay, Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. Collaborations coming up is Freezer Frenzy, hashtag Freezer Meals 23. That's put on by Ashley at CNC Farms. Oh, if y'all go over and see Ashley, she's got a really nice channel too. Um, and let's see, that will be the month of March. The drawing will be on 4/7. It's open collaboration. Just email her for the details. Yeah. Let's see. Elise says, I'm not going to Tractor Supply to buy more of their chicken feed or duck feed. Yeah, I get my feed, Elise. All of anything that I add to my feed, I get it at the local feed store because they have a little mill and they mix it themselves. Now, if you're near a place that sells the Mennonite feed, they have a wonderful animal feed. Wonderful. But you have to buy, most of the time, you have to buy those in large quantities. And I don't really have anywhere to store a large quantity. And we're talking about a ton, you know, and you don't have enough chickens and ducks to do that. Um, Lisa says, what part of Michigan are you in, Chubby Hubby? Um, yeah, try Down on the Earth Farm in Martinez. Casey says, Elise. Down on the farm in Martinez. Is that the one that's behind the it's over behind the Lowe's, between the Lowe's and the I guess it's Kohl's, and there's big shopping center there. Um yes, Casey's my son. He travels everywhere. He knows a lot of stuff. But yeah, at least that one, I forgot about that one in Martinez. Um, it's been there for, it used to be called Brown's Feed and Seed. I think this is the same one he's talking about. Susan says, I just did a video on what we're doing to feed the chickens. Okay, at least go over to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. You'll be dropping it Friday? Okay. I found major changes in our feed ratios. Yes. Um, sometimes you feed the chickens and they'll get bored with what you're giving them. And um, going to a co-op, yes, Brenda, going to a co-op is usually the best place. Tractor Supply is good in emergencies because they're open all the time, and if you run out. But I always notice a difference if the chickens don't necessarily like it, because they don't get all the little extras. So yeah. But a local feed stores were, and those family run ones, you can't beat those, because they really do care about you coming back, and they try to give you a good product, a very good product. Um, yes. Casey has a YouTube, but he doesn't put anything on it. I keep trying to get him to make videos because he raises quail and he raises the mytonic goats. So you see his mytonic goats on my channel because I like to share his goats. But yeah, anything's worth a try at least. Because sometimes you just need a change in what you're feeding them. And it's the same thing with the goats. They get tired too. They all get tired of you know they really don't need a lot of pellets. The goats don't. They need more hay and grass and leaves, and um, they really don't need as much pellets. They need the minerals and the baking soda when they need it. Um, Heather's chubby hubby said I was his first sub. Really? The first one? I don't remember who was my first sub. Probably Casey. But when I got my first 17, I can't remember why 17, it always, comes to mind. Probably because one of his children said, "Oh, Nana, how many subs do you have now?" Because they thought it was a big deal that I had a YouTube channel. And I remembered saying, "I got 17." And they're like, "Wow, 17." They were so excited about 17. And now I think I may be getting close to 800. I honestly don't look a lot. I really don't. Because I couldn't quote you on exact to what it is. Um, but I really have to work on my watch hours because I will definitely get to the 1,000 before I get my watch hours. So, but some people they'll go. I was on one of the crafts channels the other day, and honestly, I didn't know people had live streams so long. This one was, she was on there for like 6 or 7 hours just doing diamond painting. And for those who don't know diamond painting, I'll show you guys uh, what I'm doing. This is my diamond painting, and well, you can't hardly see it with this plastic on it, but it is really shining. It's very shiny, and it's just painting with these little gemstones, basically. And but she was on a live stream for 7 hours. Oh, I'm at 757 subs. Thanks, Lisa, for looking. Um, I think I was at 758. So, oh gosh, I dropped it. The last time I looked, which was probably a couple of weeks ago. So I've lost one. Uh, oh, thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, Casey, Elise has come on. I thought, oh my gosh, I got this awful twang. Know how to talk to the camera, and I barely know how to run the camera on my phone. So I didn't really think I had much to offer. Um, but here it is 2 years later, and I'm still on here. So what can I say? Somebody's putting up with me. But I do very few. I do some collabs. Um, with this channel. I have not done a live stream or even a short on my craft channel. I don't know why, but I I may have 430 or something like that on that channel. And many of them are the same people. Um, but I just do my arts and crafts over there because they kind of, it gets lost. How can you compete with these cute little lambs? You know, and I got something that, okay, maybe y'all know or have had this happen to you. I made two shorts last week and I got copyrights on both of them. And I used the music for Canva. Y'all hear my rooster, don't you? I use the music for Canva for my when I edit it. No, iMovie. I'm sorry, iMovie. Um, then I shared it to Facebook. Okay, I can understand. They said no, Facebook is not. So I got copyrighted because I used the music for iMovie and then I shared it to Facebook. So I took it off of Facebook. I still have a copyright on there. I don't know how to get it off. And a few days later, I did another short. Um, it was the one with the eggshells, and I used the boot, and I didn't share it to Facebook, but I used the music that they offer in iMovie, and I got another copyright. It's like, what did I do wrong? I have no idea. No, it was a claim. It wasn't a strike. It was just a claim. Um, but I didn't hear there was nothing else playing in the background, and I didn't even use anything that I don't know if it even had words. It might have just been a soundtrack, but it was what they offer. It was some of the, and I've used it before many times, so I don't know exactly what I've done wrong. Um, but the last short that I put up that I used music, the little lambs that was it was like 34 seconds or something. I used the music from VITA. I actually edited on that, and I didn't get a copyright strike. So I'm just not really sure. I can appeal those. Okay, I have to do that on my computer. It won't let me do it on the phone. I learned that. Contact YouTube on the copyrights claims. I use only public domain or YouTube free music. And I've never used either one of those. I was just using the one that I used in the editing video because they offered it. And it was free music. So I thought I was doing, I mean, I've done it before for the last couple of years, but I don't know what it is about that. I don't know what I've done. But as you know, 34 seconds is not going to give you any time. I guess unless you get 10,000 views. But I don't know. I may not have done anything. People make mistakes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I thought, okay, if I shared it to Facebook, on my channel, it wasn't on a group or anything. It was on my channel, which is basically all I use it for. I very rarely get on there. I don't do social media, chatting and stuff. If you want to chat with me, you have to chat with me on YouTube. Because I don't have time to do all of those extra ones. But yes, I guess I need to go in there and find out because, you know, if they could just tell me what I've done so that I don't do it again. That's really all I want to know is what did I do? Um, you know, I did get a warning one time. In 2 years, I've got one warning. But and I knew what I did. I edited out where there was an adult that was sitting next to the grandson. He was driving our Jeep on our property, but I edited out an adult that they needed to see, I guess. But so anyway, I took that one off. But oh, I'm so glad you came, Brenda. And take care. And I know I'll see you around. Um, Probably on Kathy's tonight. I did tell you, Brenda did tell you that Kathy did tell you guys that she was coming up here to see me. Hey, Art Man, good morning or afternoon now. Well, depending on where you live. Yes, Lisa, I will definitely check on that about and Susan, I'll go the public domain music and the YouTube music. Do you have to download something or do you have to go on there and register? How do you use that kind of music? I've never done it before. Cruising koozies. Hey, you're sneaking in for a few minutes before I head to the store. Well, you're brave to go to the store. That's all I can say. It's good to see you. Where are you from? And I don't know that I've ever seen your channel. So welcome if you're new. If I've missed you before, I'm sorry about that. But we will go and check out your channel too. Um, let's see. Cruising Koozies. That's a cool name. I work nights and it's morning to me. Oh, okay. I can understand that. Definitely. Used to be my favorite shift was when I was working in a factory was the third shift because I'd get off at 11 o'clock at night and I could relax a little bit, sleep in. But then when you had kids, of course, my husband would get up and take care of the kids and get them off to school. So that worked pretty good. Nebraska, and you're 50 degrees today. Well, that's kind of warm. Okay, that's cool, Heathers. Um, Nebraska. I've been to Nebraska once, and I couldn't tell you which town it was. We camped there on our way back from uh, Oregon, and we were just heading across the states. But we did go to Nebraska. I like all the states. I like them all, but I don't know if I would go cross country again, especially carrying a camper. And do you know how much they charge now for camping facilities? When we went 7 years ago, we were paying 35, 40, sometimes 60 a night. It's like, oh my gosh, it's outrageous. What I miss about working in a factory is no customers telling you why it doesn't cost so much. Yeah, when you work in a factory, you don't have to deal with people. I was working in a little factory in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and we made housing, plastic housing for um, mixers and irons. Which do people still use those anymore? There's so many fancy mixing gadgets now that these were hand mixers and irons. And honestly, if I don't have to iron another outfit of clothes, I'm okay because I don't go into an office anymore. Nobody has to look at my wrinkle if they don't want to. Uh, Peter says I tried using music from Clip Champ that was approved for YouTube. It turns out I could use it, but the owner of the copyright would get any of the ad revenue from my video. Oh, so they let you use it for a price. So basically, you were paying for it. You were just not. Eventually, when you get monetized, then you're not going to get any of that. That's right. So yeah, I want one that I can just use just to add a little extra. I don't put music with everything. But especially the shorts, I do like to put a little music to the shorts because sometimes you don't really need to say anything, just like with the little baby lamb nursing and its tail was going a mile a minute. Honestly, I don't even remember the song I put with it, but I heard that it was a good song. That's right. So, I mean, I just wanted to use a little bit of background music and nothing too distracting from what's going on. um, Sometimes that when you're showing off, especially babies, all the little babies, when you're showing them off, you just need a little bit of background music to kind of get you going, and you don't really need to say a lot because, um, a lot of people they're not there to listen to you talk. They just want to see the animal. They really that's all they want to see. The right music makes a good short, though. Yes, a great short. Yes. I've had some so if y'all look at my shorts, I've had a few that really were exceptional for me and getting I mean, I think I've got one that's 3 or 4,000 that, I got overnight. Um, but no, and you can't oh, you can mute the music? Oh, you can? Hey, Teresa from Stringfield Ridge. I'm glad you're enjoying my little lunch chat while you're eating. Are you eating something good? I hope so. So yeah, um, I just got to figure this thing out with the music because I don't like to get those copyright claims because later on down the road, I want to, you know, I'm doing all the work with the video and I don't do a lot of editing and I really don't do a lot of scripts. I don't do any of that. You get what you get with me. And it may not be, it's just what's happening on the farm mostly, on this channel. Isn't it on top of your YouTube channel about the music? I don't know. I'll have to go look. Leftover ribs and slaw. Oh, that's a great lunch. Elise says she likes my videos. Well, that's good. Because honestly, I've just learned by the seat of my pants because there is nobody really, I mean, I got a little bit of input. I got a lot of input from Kathy in the beginning. And so and as I gone, I've just kind of figured it out. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But you're gonna rarely see one that I've spent more than a few minutes editing, and that's just to take out the thumb or something. So, and sometimes I'll make a video and then later I'll go back and do a voiceover. I learned how to do that. I learned how to do all this stuff and I never knew how to do any of it before. So you're talking to a really tech challenged person. Artman says yes, you can go to the videos and hit copyright and follow the directions. Okay. Okay. That's what I'm going to do because I need to figure out what I did wrong with those. Like I said, it might not have been anything too wrong. Gummy says natural is the best, Linda. Bloopers are great. I love bloopers. Y'all don't cut your bloopers out because sometimes that just makes it, I don't know, it just shows that, you know, we all, we're trying to put content out there that's family friendly, and I don't film anyone that doesn't know they're being filmed. And if, you know, they accidentally say something that's a little off color, then it's out of there anyway. I'm not going to leave it in there. But yeah, it's like, okay, y'all watch your mouth. Cruising Koozie says I use InShot for editing video, and they have music I have used, and once it gave me a copyright, but it said it didn't affect my channel. I still erased the music. Um, yeah, I tried InShot in the beginning, but I struggled with it, and then I discovered iMovie, and I do most of mine on iMovie. Although recently I started using that VITA, so I've used a few there. Teresa says same here, thrown into it, and I have to edit Lee, laughing out loud because he talks so slow and he says weird things. Well, yeah, it's like you know if I was filming my husband one time and it's like, y'all, I'm filming, and he goes, well, he says, I can't help that. So I cut it out. But then he doesn't like me to film him. It's like, you're not filming, are you? You don't have that turned on, do you? And I go, no. So you're going to get anything with him in it because he doesn't like to be in it. You know, it's funny because a lot of the channels that there's many couples that are part of YouTube, many couple homesteaders even, um, and then you have some that are all men and their wives don't want any part of it, and then some that are opposite. But, and I don't know, their channels are just as good as if it was couples, but sometimes couples kind of play off each other and it's kind of cute. But so I'm one of those that he cares nothing for it and he doesn't want to be videoed, he doesn't want to say anything. So it's like, okay, that's the way it goes. Which of the editing that you use that you would recommend? If you don't mind me asking, budget friendly one. Gummy says she used that VITA and she likes it. And she says it's easy. But I've been using the iMovie for so long. Of course, it's free too. Um, but now that the music is kind of giving me a hard time, then I'm going to have to find something different. Um, I've only used those three: the Vita and the InShot and the iMovie. Those are the only ones I've used before. Teresa says, I've used the iMovie. It's easy with the iPhone and the Apple computer. Yes. Elise, is it funny that, oh yeah, if it's funny, it'll make your day on the edit. Yes. So if you leave the bloopers in, it just shows you're human. I mean, that's all it does. It just shows you're human. Um, but I've used the iMovie because my I have an older Apple computer and my iPhone, but my computer that I'm on today is an HP. So, and I don't do any editing on it. If I used to take all my when I first started and I was trying to figure out how to edit and resizing. That's another thing that's really just it gives me problems. And I would take it down to my son, and Casey would say, haven't you learned to do this yet? No, I wouldn't bring it to you if I've learned to do it. And I say, well, show me what you're doing. He said, it's just as easy for me to do it for you. So that's why I didn't learn because, they're busy people. And so, but I have not figured out how to resize things to make it work, to add some pictures. And so, yeah. So if you see anything new that I've done, I've worked really hard to get to that point. It's not something that's easy for me to do. So, oh my goodness, I didn't believe I ran over an hour. It's easy to do when you're just yakking. So I'll go check out all of the music um and the editing and see if I can't figure out a different way to do that, because I do not like those copyright claims, because it just makes me feel like that they're going to come back on me later and really get me. And this is for fun for me. This is not a I don't want it to be a stressful thing. So when it becomes stressful, then we'll talk about doing something else. So yeah. But I hope you all have a good week. Hope the rain is not too bad and you enjoy the rest of your week. I will be filming our venture to the veterinarian for the puppies, so you'll get to see them. And if you haven't seen my new lambs, go look at my new lambs. Um, I've got a real short one and one that's about 15 minutes. So if you don't want to see a live birth, you don't have to do that one. But the little short one. Yes, hugs to you all. Teresa's going back to work. She's I'm surprised she gets a lunch break. They keep her so busy there. So everybody have a good week, and I'll see you next week if you have time. Bye. Oh, thank you, Cruise and Koozies. We enjoyed having you.